𝓤𝓪𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬𝓮. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for this very, very important message. Now, I do want to open up just by saying that this construct and matrix is designed to externalize your life force and your attention, and the universe is forcing you to turn anywhere. I'm hearing anywhere, okay, anywhere else but the external, which leaves you with one place only, and that is the cosmos within, as you navigate the chaos, as you navigate mainly, honestly, this next level. This message is all about you entering into a new level, and right when you're on the verge of a breakthrough, that's where you're going to face the highest level of resistance. And it's in this new level, okay, that you are now eligible for, due to the XP, okay, the experience that you have accumulated. You know how to utilize discernment's lens as a finely tuned instrument to be able to see this construct very, very clearly, and you're viewing it from more of a cosmic lens, okay, the interconnectedness to all things, including we're going to talk about it, like matrix bound deities who are stuck in unconscious looping systems. And these are still fractals of source, okay, still deities that have become lost and sleeping in matter. And if you want to think about it as kind of like density or a certain frequency bound agent of some kind that's here to protect this construct. It's here to protect this matrix, and not just externally, but it's about the matrix within, right? This is about fear-based systems, programming, victimization, internal constructs that have have distorted the soul's vision from truly being able to see themselves or this construct or terrestrial plane clearly through the lens of the soul. And you are serving as a mirror, but not to mirror back the wounds of others to them, but you're serving as a mirror to reflect the light that is still within these fractals back to them. And that's why I'm hearing you're causing like different kind of reactions from those around you, different kind of responses. I feel like you're invoking different kind of emotional responses from those around you. And it's because you are playing this game a little bit differently at this stage. Or at least this is what you're being guided to do. You're no longer listening to the external noise. That's not going to serve you. This could be about the opinions of others. Instead, we're listening to the voice of the soul. And it's not in the things that you're saying, it's the things that you're not saying right now. It's not in the things that you're doing, also the things in which you no longer are, that are speaking volumes about your character. And that's what's happening right now. Okay, so this is just confirmation for you, okay, when it comes to certain projections and them really not being personal but simply vibrational, for it tells you the internal walls and unconscious feedback loops that one is going through within themselves. And yeah, okay, I'm hearing vibrational jabs as well, but you're very, very selective and you're going through a lot of clearing as well, right? So we're going to talk about this, right? This is about deities who were lost in sleeping, forgotten fragments of source energy, if that's what you want to call it, and the density that they have descended into to heal is a density that they've now kind of fallen asleep in, right? I'm hearing they've lost themselves, but they're yet to find themselves, okay? They've lost themselves only to find themselves. But it's in a period where many of these fractals, okay, or agents have lost themselves, that they find you. And in finding you, they recover a piece of themselves. It's like you're reflecting back the light that they've been seeking or searching externally within this construct. Whereas you found that light within and you're reminding them or serving as a mirror, okay? And I feel like you are a big, huge walking trigger right now, and it may just be your biggest gift. Okay, so you're walking into rooms and I'm hearing like you're standing out. You're walking into rooms and your energy announces itself and your presence announces itself before you ever have to, okay? And it's because of the way I'm hearing that you hold this energetic signature. And yeah, these agents, let's say, are becoming guardians of this construct and kind of protecting their own unconscious, core belief systems in a way where there's looping cycles of control or fragmentation or polarity or separation or repetition or judgment or compartmentalization, right? A reflection of where they may refuse or where it may be hard. They're showing me synchronous rotations, so it's the dark side of the moon, but some people don't want to be shown and some people don't want to see, right? And it's knowing that not everyone wants to be woken up, right? But I feel like your job, I'm seeing the sun, is about rising to the occasion every morning, unfadingly like the sun does, whether people want to wake up or not. There's something around you creating that contrast, you creating a balance within the system, okay? And finding internal balance even amongst great contrast in this realm, okay? Finding internal balance within the contrast, holding space for the contrast and holding space for the polarity, and mainly holding space for all of these, dualistic frequencies that you're dealing with, okay, during this time. And I'm going to talk about this. So this is a outdated operating system that you're going to be witnessing a lot of beings trying to hold on to. And I'm seeing this as a mask, okay? A mask that has provided a certain level of comfort to the ego, but it's no longer assisting when it comes to optimal soul growth, okay? Or optimal navigation in this experience. And it's not change that hurts, but it's the resistance to it. And you're going to be witnessing the pain that is going to be projected. And if you allow it to seep into your field, it will. Or again, you can see it as not personal, but something that is vibrational. It's more personal to do with the self of that individual. And realizing that all cruelty springs from weakness, and it's a reflection of the weakened aspects. And I'm hearing the strength of that one knows themselves, okay? The strength to the degree that one knows themselves, okay? So anyway, I saw you guys like a Pico Laser. I'm going to talk about that, right? Um, So the first card, I basically had like this whole list of things I wanted to talk about today, right? And I was like, spirit, like pick a card, pick any card, right? And tell me what we're going to speak about first. And the first message is Selective Shield. So we're going to talk about it. Selective Shield is your multidimensional bubble, okay? It is your auric field, and it talks about you being very selective in regards to foreign energies and what you allow to penetrate, okay, your field. What it is that you allow in the external construct to interrupt your internal state of being, okay? If you allow your emotional state to be governed by your external factors, okay? Or if your internal state will govern the way that I'm hearing you see, feel, and interact with the external. So awareness of the energy surrounding us. This is very real. We distance ourselves from people, we get closer to others, then we look back and we do not really understand who we were and how we are so different now. We distance ourselves for a while, we meet again later, we connect with people as if we've known them our whole lives, while others that we have always known suddenly feel alien to us. All these sequences are linked to your vibration. You attract what you vibrate, similarly in the same way to you. If your energy changes, so does your environment. And for your own evolution. I'm hearing if you can't change the people that you're around, literally change the people that you're around. You're not here to change or impart anything on anyone. I'm hearing you're here to change the rooms that you decide to stay in. You're here to change the rooms that you decide to enter into. You're here to change the rooms that you decide to exit. That's a choice. And do not resist letting go of what you no longer feel part of for the simple fact that you once did. For something new to enter, you have to make room by letting go of the old. Resistance only brings conflicting energies. Let yourself be carried away by the total feeling of absolute. The quote is, being where I have to be with whom I have to be. A selective shield is a force field which surrounds planetary star systems to stop entry of foreign energies. At first, this shield allows the passage of energies whose vibration is in tune with that of the plasma in charge of the system while rejecting different vibrations. Once it has necessary amount of energy for the evolutionary process, the shield becomes saturated and repels all external penetration. So this is about a poorly made shield allows infiltration, which then causes an imbalance. Okay, what that means is allowing the external to govern your internal state. Okay, what that means is that your emotional state is dependent upon the way that people see you, the way that people feel about you, the things that people may say. Because I'm hearing that is changing because you have changed. Naturally, an unavoidable transformation, evolution, a universal law that we're all abiding by. Some will resist that change, and some, will flow with that universal ebb and flow. Okay, I'm hearing the changing of the seasons, and you're entering into a new one. The shield protects us and lets us know that we are looked after and not alone, managing who surrounds us and who leaves us for our greater good and evolution. We have to become conscious of its formation. If there are energy leaks, check what and who is outside or inside of our shield and whether it's in tune with our inner planet. Now, that's super interesting because, again, if you think about planets, they're all operating in a different octave and they all serve a different purpose and function, but they all are interconnected within this universe and they make up a larger cohesive story and system. And this is about you really having the opportunity, okay? I'm hearing like being given the opportunity during this time to reinforce something that you know that you must do. I'm going to talk about this, right? Your first message is Two of Birds. Two of Birds kind of came up reversed as well. This is a Two of Swords card, all right? Now, Two of Birds usually talks about, being at crossroads. It's where you're waiting to receive clarification in what someone says instead of the things that they're not saying. You're waiting to receive information that confirms something that you've already been picking up on, okay? And it usually is somebody trying to weigh out their intuition with their logic, all right? Now, Two of Swords in this energy is maybe avoiding a deep truth, approaching blindly, and wasted energy. So this is about not taking minus action. It talks about, no longer approaching a situation blindly. This is saying that you are seeing a situation clearly. You are seeing it with the lens of the soul. And the lens of the soul is saying that this isn't personal. It is vibrational. So it talks about switching your focus on an energy on performing a task with precision. Swinging at something until you make a hit is no sure way to success. Now is not the time for dragging around extra weight. Shed the excess. I was listening to a podcast today, and this woman, she said something around, if you're in a, you have this moving truck and it's like you're lugging all of this, furniture. This could be people or circumstances I'm hearing that have been in your life to the point where they've become furniture in a room, right? And you're going through a whole blown renovation process, okay? And this is about you changing your internal construct, all right? A complete new renovation. You're upgrading the furniture, right? This could be about completely shifting and changing the people that you surround yourself with. Um, yeah, that's what it feels like, to be honest with you. Shed the excess. You can't drive 100 miles per hour and speed down the highway, right, with the wind blowing through your hair and being free like the wind in this existence and the way that you move through it when you're lugging all of this excess. You can't do it. This is about things and people and situations that are going to weigh you down energetically. And this could be about just certain environments that you've outgrown, okay? Anyway, it talks about having to embrace reality, okay? And turning your choice to something that you can perceive through a different perception. Your perception creates your reality. So you can see this as, oh, I hope that this person, it kind of does remind me of like a life path too in one of their lessons. One of their lessons is they can't wait for people to catch up. It feels like the universe is upgrading you and not everyone can come with you. That's what it feels like. It reminds you of the reading that we did around you're entering into a billionaire timeline and not everyone can come with you. really. Now, the card that I pulled around what was it? I asked, "What are you doing?" Okay, like, "What are you doing?" And you had the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is somebody who's doing something that is not personal, is vibrational. You know, the original depiction is basically somebody who is going into battle. So what they do is the night before they go into their opponent's room and they steal all the swords so that they may not be used against them, and they kind of just disappear, in the realms of the night. It's like one of those energies, and it's not personal, right? They just don't want to have to get involved in a situation. It doesn't have to be that messy. It doesn't have to be personal. They're thinking ahead. They're thinking outside of the box, right? They are not even within the realms of the box anymore. They're not even within the realms of like the construct of this matrix, or that, doing things that are comfortable. That they're not, I'm hearing, afraid about stepping on eggshells, because they're not even going to be in the room where the eggshells are. Okay, that's like the energy. Um, so seven of birds and seven of swords in this depiction, it basically talks about cutting ties, obstacles, something that could seem deceptive, but it's you moving through this, system in a very strategic way in regards to what is, whom is energetically aligned with you at this stage in your evolution journey. Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this, but some people and circumstances and characters, which are just other expressions of yourself, have served a purpose in a chapter. That chapter is not the whole story. They may no longer serve a purpose in this next chapter. And there is a reason why you're being called to make room. All right. So this talks about a figure plucking swords from a snowy ground as a flock of birds flies in formation above. This is a card of tactics and deception. Both the birds and the thief are fixed in their ways. If you have pulled this card, ask yourself if you're being truthful with your intentions and if your strategy and everyone's well-being is in mind. And there is something about choosing something that's for the highest good of your evolution is naturally in the highest good of those around you as well, because holding on to systems um that no longer serve you mean that they also no longer serve another. There are some lessons, okay, I'm hearing, in things in which you have said that others around you, you're no longer operating in the same wavelength, okay, the same bandwidth, and these are different octaves. They no longer have the capacity to hear you. They may not be able to actually listen until you're no longer there and they're reflecting on the words that were said. They may not be able to see you right now. Okay, they may just be looking, but one day they will see, because we are all children of the cosmos, each having a part to play in the cycle. This isn't just about the part that someone has to play in your life, but also the part in which you were playing in their soul's evolution as well. I'm hearing anything that we attach to, it's a form of selfishness. So it can also show true intentions, right? Old patterns, rethinking approaches, self worth, true, focusing on someone that's even caught mid act, right? And it talks about breaking an old pattern, rethinking your approach. A new perspective may reveal a clearer path ahead. And there is something about, it's so simple, Sometimes this is the excuses that the human tells himself that keeps him in the self created cycles. It really is that simple, and I'm hearing it, it's the human that can sometimes make things so complex. But anyway, I want to talk about you, right? The next message that we have is telescope. So I asked, what is like the key that you can use during this time to assist you? And telescope talks about seeing something beyond the human's vision and seeing the situation from the lens of the soul. Okay. And it talks about capturing the display of celestial bodies. This talks about the mental power to see beyond what our eyes are able to. And this is possible thanks to the telescope. So there's energies around you. And when you use your inner telescope, which is your lens of discernment, which acts as an energetic barrier, discernment's lens is not judging anyone. Instead, it's seeing. I'm hearing exactly you can what it is that needs to be facilitated to another soul at this point in their journey. That's all it is. It's this point within space and time. All right. Sometimes there's more change that must happen down the timeline in a linear fashion in order to be able to return to more cosmic awareness. That's the energy that's coming through. But you're not going to see this clearly, okay, if you're looking at this up close and you're looking at this from a limited field of perception. Like, you're being told to zoom out. Zooming out allows you to regulate your emotions. Zooming out allows you to view a situation from a more objective point of view. And it's saying that all objectives make up the whole, okay? All objectives make up the whole. Now, there's also like another quote that's coming through. I'm trying to remember what it is. The longer that you hold on to what's no longer serving you, the longer that you postpone what's ready to be of service to you from coming in. And there are new experiences, whether it's people, opportunities, places. You may be getting in your own way. You may be blocking your own blessings because you're holding on to people and circumstances that are literally a liability. And this is not even to do with them. This is to do with belief systems within yourself. Okay. And this is where you're robbing yourself and the other, because source is good all the time. Okay. God is good all the time. Just like you're going to experience things and people falling and collapsing into your reality to assist you with this next chapter, it's the exact same for this sovereign being. Okay? It's the exact same. Right. So, I saw you like a Pico laser. We're going to talk about this. So yeah, Pico lasers, if you don't know, they are actually very high tech. They are more advanced technology from traditional lasers that just utilize heat, right? Which could be about rage, it could be about anger, it could be about things building up, right? Like intensity. But instead, they use the sound of the frequency of sound, okay, to be able to dismantle and disrupt pigments that have accumulated and have created a level of density, okay, within their field. So this could be things that you've been picking up on just energetically, but your presence disrupts that density, okay? Especially in others' fields without attacking it. Again, you're not attacking someone's character, you're not attacking or judging or compartmentalizing or separating, but you're fracturing, attachments to that illusion one pattern at a time. You're seeing things very, very clearly because you're tuning into them, right? Like a tuning fork. You are vibrating with a precision that then begins to loop and dissolve. And it makes the deity within begin to stir, right? It's almost like agents begin to glitch in your presence. And it's because you're no longer reducing yourself or dimming your light or betraying yourself to portray a version of yourself that makes others comfortable while also abandoning the soul's path and what it is that your soul's calling for at this stage in your evolution journey. Again, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to hear this right now. And this is about that happening just through the presence of your light, the presence of your truth, the presence of your consciousness, and you just not knowing the path, but also walking the path and embodying the path to the point where you are the path itself. Okay, so this is not about shame, it's not about fighting, it's about freedom, it's about liberation. And that comes from being the disruptor, sometimes to the forgotten one. And that's the very thing that's going to wake someone up within this construct and also wake you up to your own attachments, to where it is that you are limiting yourself to some kind of degree. And most importantly, being able to hold compassion, right? Being able to hold compassion for the agent, for the watchers, for the enforcers of the system. All it is another version of yourself, right? A mirror reflection of you that's saying, are you ready to reinforce the things in which you have learned? I am giving you an opportunity through what appears to be resistance or challenge during this time to do something that you have never done before. Okay. So maybe you're someone who, has realized that even the gods have forgotten who they were, right? Source has forgotten as it's dreamt itself, and this stardust that's wrapped in skin, and the light that you've been seeking is within, and you found that light, and because of that, you've solved the mystery to this construct, and you see everyone else as a light being. That's awaiting to discover that light within once again, and you have become a mystery, right? Those who solve the puzzle almost become a puzzle piece. Those who solve the puzzle become a puzzle piece for others. And Yeah, that's what's going on right now. It's not just what's in the highest good of you for you, but for the highest good of all. It's not just making decisions that benefit your own soul's evolution, but the evolution of the collective. Okay, and that's what it really means. So yeah, no longer running commands written in density guarding systems that no longer align with soul's evolution. Instead, like a Pico Laser, right, you're shattering these pigments from the skin that have accumulated. Your experiences of density, the entanglements that have occurred, you are breaking attachments, you're breaking systems that confine you to certain versions of yourself, to certain realities that you've already lived out and lived through. And I'm hearing these are the realities that you've gotten to know to the point where there is no more room for growth there. Things have become mundane. It's the same old, same old. There is nothing new. There's just a new way of looking at the old. Whether that's the people, the circumstances, the environment, you're seeing it with new eyes. And those new eyes are actually inbuilt to see other realities and other versions of yourself that others are not ready to see yet. That's what I'm seeing. It's like you've been given these new eyes. Maybe it's about source seeing itself in its own creation, right? Playing in its own creation. It's like the veils of Maya have lifted. The human condition has lifted. Maybe it's about the eyes of the soul. And you're ready to, I'm hearing, see not just this existence, but yourself in a way that others may have not cultivated the capacity to see just yet, or choose not to see. You also have these eyes that allow you to see aspects within others that refused to look at these programs or systems of fear within themselves. And when you see where someone is really not in harmony within themselves, it's hard to feel any other way but compassion. But if that compassion does not include yourself, then that compassion is not complete. And there is something about you completing a cycle as you see yourself in your own shoes and the shoes of another through the lens of compassion. It's the resistance to seeing one's own light, which is one's own truth, which is one's own consciousness, and becoming aware of it once again. But once consciousness has chosen to become aware of it, which is about taking accountability, you begin to behave very differently in this system. The way that you congruently move through this existence becomes supportive of your vibrational alignments. I'm hearing the soul's vibrational callings. So I'm sure this is going to give you exactly what it is you need to hear at this stage in your journey. I'm going to love any of you guys right there. It was very important to get this message out today. So there could be things or people in your experiences that need that reinforcement. Okay, this could be your clarification. But I'll speak to you very, very soon. I'm hearing there's new systems of energy that are moving through your field, okay, as we speak. You know what you must do, even if that's just turning inwards. And yes, I'll speak to you very soon. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. And also check out Otter Spirit's discount code if you are looking for some high quality AAA grade jewelry. This is a small family owned business that handcraft these beautiful gemstones to support any manifestations or any energy that you want to be able to align with, work with. These are just third dimensional tools. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards otter sanctuaries as well. And until next time, bye.